plain and an orphan and no one loves me, I can still take comfort in a book.
What are you doing with that book? That's my book. Give it here.
Wicked and cruel boy. You think because I'm plain and an orphan you can trample me? You're a slave driver!
Mommy! John hit me.
Passionate child! How dare you hit John when he did nothing to you?
But he hit me!
I will not stand for deceit in a plain orphan. I shall lock you in the red room.
Not the red room!
Help! Help! Let me out of here! This room is haunted! My Uncle Reed died in this room. Even though he likes me more than anyone else ever has, he still might get me! Let me out! Ah!
Miserable little orphan with an overactive imagination, I'm going to send you to Lowood Institution with all the other miserable orphans in England.
Jane, how must you avoid hell?
I must keep in good health and not die?
You see, besides being an orphan, she has a sense of humor. Oh, Mr. Brocklehurst, save me from this evil child.
Girls, I would like to introduce you to the newest pupil of Lowood School. This is Jane Eyre. Hello, Jane. Now, you may think that Jane looks like a very nice girl. However, I must inform you that she is a passionate, deceitful, plain orphan. Don't trust her. Also, there will be no supper tonight. Food is bad for the soul. Everyone at this school hates me. Whatever shall I do? Who are you? Do you hate me too?
I am Helen Burns. Do not be deceived of my fine, angelic appearance, for I am possessed of a grievous fault. I am, dare I say, messy. Da da da! Now, Jane, I have an important lesson to teach you. You must love everyone.
But what about the people who hate me? What about the people who are mean to me?
Them too.
Oh, Helen, you have made a profound influence on my life.
Then my reason for existing is completed.
Welcome to Thornfield Hall, Miss Eyre. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Mrs. Fairfax, the housekeeper.
Housekeeper? I thought Thornfield belonged to you.
To me? Don't be silly, dear. It is Mr. Rochester's estate. He's not here very often, however. This is his ward, Adele.
Bonjour, Mademoiselle Eyre. I love pretty things and dresses. Oh la la!
She's a silly girl, but hopefully you'll be able to cure her French defects and turn her into a proper British young lady. And this is Grace Poole, the maid. Pleased to meet you. She's rather odd, but we keep her around to sew. She's very good at sewing. Also, if anything odd happens at Thornfield, we blame it on Grace. She's very useful to have around.
I see. I think I shall take a walk to acquaint myself with the grounds.
even though Thornfield Hall is the only place where I've ever been treated with kindness, I still feel like something is missing. What could it be?
Blast! Curses! Bloody hell!
Are you in need of assistance, sir?
Do I bloody look like I need assistance?
Well, yes, you do.
Oh, very well then. Who are you anyway?
I am Jane Eyre, sir. I'm the governess at Thornfield Hall.
Thornfield Hall, eh? Never heard of it. You're Mr. Rochester. No! Mr. Rochester! What was that? Mr. Rochester! Mr. Rochester! Wake up! I immediately located David.
What? Bloody hell, Jane, what are you doing in here?
Mr. Rochester, your bed was aflame.
Your bed was aflame?
Yes.
How could that have happened? Curse that bloody, who should I curse? Grace Poole! Curse that bloody Grace Poole!
Grace Poole, sir? But if Grace Poole tried to kill you, then surely you shall have her fired.
No, Jane. I'm afraid I cannot fire Miss Poole. But I shall go on leave to Thornfield for a couple of weeks.
But, sir, wouldn't that leave Adele and Miss Fairfax and I in grave danger, alone with a lunatic?
No, I'm going to leave you at home alone with Grace Poole. I think you shall be quite fine while I go on and fetch some fashionable people.
Really, sir? Well, when you put it that way, I quite understand.
Good night, Jane.
Good night, Mr. Rochester. Who are all of you, and where's Mr. Rochester?
Hi, I'm Blanche Ingram. I'm a close personal friend of Mr. Rochester. And over here in the blue shirt is Mr. Rochester's dear acquaintance, Mr. Mason. And who might you be?
I'm Jane Eyre. I'm Adele's governess.
You're the governess? I had a governess once. She was blind, and she was quite stupid little twit of a girl.
Oh.
Well, did you hear? Someone's doing the gypsies in the kitchen telling fortunes. All the ladies in the house are supposed to go, but I'm too frightened to.
Frightened of a gypsy? Well, I don't know what we can do. Let's send Jane in to get her fortune. She's blind anyway and probably doesn't have much of one. What does she have to risk?
I thought they'd send you first. Me? Do you know me?
I don't know your name, but I know much about you. I know how you yearned love, but have never received it. However, there are others of this household who have considerably more luck in finding love. The Master Thornfield, for example, is soon to be wed.
Soon to be wed to a beautiful woman. I came to hear my own fortune, not that of another. Oh, but it is your fortune. Mr. Rochester's affairs are greatly bound up in your own happiness, are they not? No! I mean, no, of course not. Why would you ask such a thing? I can see what lies in your heart, Jane. Love is waiting for you, if you but stretch out your hand. And you who called me Jane, how did you know? Wait, you're no fortune teller at all. I see who you truly are.
Oh, very well. You found me out. I am Grace Poole.
Mr. Rochester, I know it's you.
Lost! How did you ever see through my clever disguise?
Never mind that, sir. I have something important to tell you. This morning I received a letter informing me that my aunt is dying.
I must go to her immediately.
What? And leave me? Well, if you must. But promise that you will not forget me, Jane.
I could never forget you, sir. You haven't paid me yet.
Jane, thank goodness you're here.
I heard a scream. What happened?
Scream? Oh, it was, grateful. That's it. She had, a nightmare.
Really?
Would I lie to you, Jane? Anyway, that's not important. Mr. Mason is gravely injured. I need to fetch a doctor. Jane, will you stay here to sponge the blood off his arm?
But how did he sustain such a grievous injury? It appears he has been bitten.
Never mind that. Just stay here and keep him alive until I return. And don't worry, even though I'm leaving you alone and defenseless, there's a whole wall separating you from being responsible for his condition. You won't be in any danger at all.
Of course I'll help you, Mr. Rochester. But don't forget, I'm still leaving tomorrow morning.
Of course, Jane.
I'm here, Aunt Reed.
Come closer. Jane, I have something to confess. I received a letter addressed to you some 3 years ago. It was from your uncle, Jane. An uncle we never knew you had. He wanted to make you his heir, but I wouldn't hear of it. I told him you were dead.
Aunt?
How could I lend a hand lifting you to prosperity? You were such an unblooded, plain child.
Aunt, I forgive you.
I will never forgive you.
Jane, you've come back to me. I mean, to Thornfield, at last.
Yes, sir. I missed Thornfield immensely.
Will you be sad to leave it again so soon?
Leave again?
Of course. I shall marry Blanche Ingram within the month. Adele will go to school. You better trot forthwith.
Leave Thornfield?
Yes, but not to worry. I shall find you a nice position somewhere. What do you think of Ireland?
It's a long way from Thornfield, sir.
Are you sorry to leave it?
I grieve to leave Thornfield. I love Thornfield. I have not been trampled on here. I have not been buried with inferior minds. I have known you, Mr. Rochester, and it strikes me with anguish to feel I must be torn from you forever. And yet, I see why I must go.
Why is that?
Do you think I can stay to become nothing to you? Do you think because I'm poor and plain, I am soulless and heartless? You think wrong. I have as much soul as you and full as much heart.
I know, Jane. I love you.
What?
I love you. Jane. Jane Eyre. My second self. Will you marry me?
But you just said you were going to marry Blanche Ingram.
You silly goose. I only said that to make you jealous.
Oh, in that case, yes, I will marry you.
After a month of proper British courtship, Jane and Mr. Rochester are only one night away from their wedding day.
It must have been Grace Poole.
I now pronounce you mad. Stop! This marriage cannot go on. I declare the existence of an impediment.
Blast!
What is the nature of the impediment? This man is already married! Dun dun dun! His wife is my sister Bertha!
Is this true?
Yes, she was beautiful and rich, and I was tricked into marrying her for money. I didn't know then what she truly was, but then I found it out. I vowed I would not let her ruin my life. I brought her to Thornfield, and I tried to forget about her.
Ellie?
And then I met you, Jane. I, for the first time, found that I was truly in love. Please, don't let a little thing like this come between us.
Sir, I have no choice. I cannot stay here any longer.
Where will you go? You don't mean to leave me.
I must leave. I shall go to the moors. I'm so tired. Look! It's a girl lying on the moor. Oh, St. John, can we keep her? Oh my gosh, it's St. John. And what will we do with a girl? Besides, she looks rather plain. And St. John, please. I would feed her and take her for a walk on the moor. And you won't have to do a thing.
Besides, the Bible tells us to care for those less fortunate.
Oh, very well.
Bertha! Come back here! Bertha! Bertha! No! Die! Die!
Jane, I have a matter of some importance to discuss with you. A messenger arrived today, bringing me news which concerns you. What did he say? That your Uncle John Eyre has died, and had named you as his heir. He left you £20,000. What? You are a rich woman, Jane. Me? But how did the messenger find me? How did he know I was with you? He didn't know you were here, but he thought I might have some idea as to your location. Why would he? I'm your cousin, Jane. Cousin? You mean I have family? Yes, and you could have more if you chose. Jane, you know I'm going to be a missionary, and a missionary needs a wife. Jane, will you marry me? Marry you? But I don't love you, and you don't love me. Oh, Jane, you were made for labor, not love. You are educated and plain, everything a missionary's wife ought to be.
Jane! Jane! Jane!
What?
Jane!
I'm sorry, I can't marry you. I have to go.
Jane! Jane!
It's in ruins. Mr. Rochester?
Jane? Is that you?
Of course it's me. Can't you see me?
No. I lost my sight in the fire that destroyed Thornfield. Curse that Grace Poole! I mean Bertha. Oh well, she's dead now. Have you really come back to me?
Yes. I heard you calling across the moors. Of course I came back.
Am I hideous, Jane?
Yes, sir. You always were, you know. But I'll care for you anyway.
Humph! I see you're still wicked, Jane. But I want a wife, Jane, not a housemaid.
Well, now that your crazy wife is out of the picture, I think you should marry her whom you love best.
Jane, will you marry me?
Yes, sir.